Welcome back to Getting Personal with Web3 Founders. I'm Jack, your host, and I'm excited to be here today with Phil, founder of Mint and Drops and the FEELZ collection. Are you ready to get personal, Phil?
I am absolutely born ready. Let's go. Let's do this.
Amazing. All right. The question I love to start with is, who were you before Web3? Who was Phil before Mint and Drops, before Bitcoin, before Web3? Who was Phil?
Yeah. I come from a very successful career in food and beverage. Like you, actually, I was a chef. Still am right now. 21 years now. So that's a gray hair. I had my own restaurant. I did catering events through Europe. I did my stage over there in France.
Nice.
I did everything. I was chef for one of Canada's most renowned restaurant also in 2015. Prepped the Bocuse d'Or too with my boss way back then. I did animation too. I was a teacher in school. Yeah.
Well, what do you like to cook? What's your favorite food to cook?
Damn, everything. Yeah, I mean that's the question, right? But everything's good, man. And we've talked about this, in DMs and whatever. But you're blessed, man, to live where you're at right now. Where the food is absolutely pristine, and there's everything. Listen, anything that is well done. That's a boring answer, right? Anything that is well done with heart, with great basics. Period. That's it. Can be a great shepherd's pie. I had some great combos with a couple of my friends over X last week on that. It can be an amazing pizza, whether you're from New York or Chicago or even Italy. It can be a great dessert, a great tatin pie. It's always amazing. Anything that's well done, with heart, and not necessarily with experience, right? Just hey, I made something for you. This is what's it's all about.
That.
Yeah.
I love that. It's definitely something that I learned learning how to cook, is that everything can be prepared well. Even things that I didn't used to like, if they were prepared in a different way, or with heart or with love, like you say, they can actually be tasty, right? Everything can be tasty.
That's very true. Yeah. Is there anything you don't eat usually in general yourself?
Not really anymore, no. Because even if I've disliked something now or that I've tried before, I could try it again and like it because it's been prepared in a different way. That's what I've come to realize. Yeah.
That's the mind of a chef right there.
For sure. We can definitely relate there.
Yeah.
All right. And then leading up to Web3, how was that introduction? How were you introduced to Web3?
Yeah. I was fascinated by the possibilities, right? And especially not necessarily the hype, but the substance. For sure, it came out with socials. Like, I was hooked on that. And of course, the first thing that you saw is the flips and whatever, like the sparkles and whatever. But deep down afterwards was the people, the quality individuals that was doing, quote unquote, like the right thing, like truthfully, like building something and coming up with a plan and saying, yeah, I'm going to build an amazing use case and it's going to be doing X, Y, Z and it's going to be amazing. And I want to bring that forward. So really, I came into like the main entrance, like the casual thing, like seeing it probably on socials and whatever. And afterwards, I dove deeper and discovered, individuals that truly made me feel like at home, I guess.
Do you remember any of those first kind of projects or people that you met during that time? You kind of entered for the, like you said, for the sparkles, but then you stayed for the people and the technology, I imagine, or the potential of what you kind of discovered, right?
Of course, because you never really know. And even now, you never really know, like, what's the outcome, right? What's the results or what's it going to really do? Like once, mass adoption comes or in 2 years or in 2026, whatever. For sure. Like the communities was really, really something that really drove me into that. The very first community I got in was one with Crypto Mason. I thought it was really great because, in my opinion, for me, it was giving out great knowledge to the best of, his knowledge, own knowledge too. But at the same time, it was like a band of sisters, brothers, like just going out for research and crafting out what's the best reality we can have out of this. And of course, growth, not necessarily like through gains and flips and whatever, but really like research and getting better into this sphere, because you can get wrecked, but at the same time, you can have great growth and make friends and have a great time too.
Absolutely. This is the perfect segue into the next question, which is why Mint and Drops? Like, how did it come about? And what was the goal for you personally when you started that?
Yeah, it was crazy because that was 2 years ago with my brother, Jim. Um, Back in the day, there was nothing. There was no secondary marketplace. There was no sector trades. It was really still like even more underground than it is right now. Let's say that way. And we were trying to find a funnel, like literally like a silver lining, a straight line of information to gather up all the mints, all the lunch, every single news that was happening to all the projects. And back in the days, it was 12 projects tops back into the gold mints era. So it came out. It came out to be as a 7-minute Discord conversation DMs through me and him, and we said, "Yo, let's just start something up." So it started off as a Discord server, really simple. Like every single project that was coming in had a channel, and we are like, "Yo, okay, this is going on," and then announcement coming in for I'm minting on X date, and then after that, this and that's going to be happening. And a year and a half ago, I started a podcast, and it really grew by itself. And I'm still baffled by the interest people are having of me just yapping, and the person in front of me, like you're doing right now, is just going up to storytelling and content.
Yeah, I mean the intros are legendary, right? You got to agree with that. On mint drops.
I mean it's so simple, right? But I mean, it really grew by itself, I guess. But it really came out, as something so simple. As for many fun things, when they start, it's just something that you go at it, and then you infuse life in it, or it grows by itself. So yeah,
for sure. So you said that originally Mint and Drops was a Discord server that functioned as like a hub for the small amount of projects that were launching, and each project had their kind of channel. So it really was a hub for the community, right? That's what I understood.
Yeah, absolutely. Cool. Very first hard on Hedera, and that's the way. I'm still maintaining it in a way that people can have a channel over there. But we're still we're getting past that, in the point that we grew out of this. Information is flowing much more easier than it was before. I'm still maintaining it for people who wants to keep it, but mainly right now the core content is content creation right now. Yes.
It's getting me thinking, because I find that for some projects, like managing their own Discord server is not only a lot, but it's not even necessary, because maybe they're not so Discord based. So having a channel within a hub would serve them even better, right? Than having their own channel, maybe. So that's super interesting.
Yeah. I mean, I mean, it's all intertwined, right? And I don't know if you know a guy called Rafe X. He has pretty much the same thing. It's called Hedera NFT Hub, Hashgraph NFT Hub. Pretty much has the same thing, where and especially you have a calendar for all the upcoming mints and whatever. So it's all like a funnel, a beacon of information that you can go through and have information at the very same spot. So
nice. All right, and when you talk with family and friends outside of this Web3 sphere, how do you describe to them what you do, like in this world?
I go really simple in terms that they can comprehend. Zero shade. I'm just saying, over at Dragma Labs yesterday, we launched our token gated beta founders play.
Nice.
But when you put it into perspective, we talked about this because I used to game hard. We can dive deeper into that later on if you want. But I stopped to pass every single second of free time that I have right here, right now in Web3. So I had a chat with one of my best friends I had for 20 years, and I talked to him about, rock and team racing. And he goes like, what's happening with that? I'm like, it's a great game. Devs, shout out to Justin. If you know Justin Spoomer, shout out to Ethan, shout out to Nigel, also developed an amazing game. And I'm like, we got this game right here, and you need a token to play the game. I'm like, oh, well, this is somewhat of a paid beta access. I'm like, this is a little bit of what it is. So, I try to go with terms, that they understand, and I keep it real simple. And I don't go into the specifics unless there's really interest. But other than that, I'm just, because they can relate at the same time when I talk to, like say right now, I'm doing an interview. But it's just, it's the very same thing. It's just like the levers are not the same, but the core metrics, talking to a human, it's the very same thing too. So I keep it simple usually. Yeah.
Nice. I like that. And what does a typical day look like for Phil in the life of Phil?
Yeah. Like you, I'm still chefing. This, it's a no choice situation where you're going to get to pay bills, got to pay your fixes and whatever. So, I'm lucky enough to be working at daytime and to have, it's a catering event. So I can pretty much pace my time the way I want, where you have events and, you can plan it all out. As you know, I'm also part of the Centex team. So we always go out and start that in the morning, plan out the week. If we got a couple, KPIs to hit. After that, it's over Dragma Labs, of course, with the game that just launched yesterday, and with Draft Punk's team also, where we always brainstorm ideas and what's best for the next couple of months. And mints and drops. So it's really a balance of, I don't value it in time. I value it into what I have to do. And I do the most that I can inside a day. Very often, I tackle it and I can finish the list. But it's sporadic during the day, and I tackle everything when I say I get home after work, and answer DMs. I try to reach out to new people. I stay aware, research also, go over socials. So it's really a huge circle, but at the same time, this fiat, what I call the fiat hustle, really has become secondary. And right here, right now, what we're doing has become the main thing. Yes.
Nice. And what's the first thing you do when you wake up? Do you check your phone, or do you have a little morning?
That's so hard. Yeah, that's so hard.
You have a golden hour.
Yeah,
you have a golden hour before that.
I don't. I truly don't. I tried a couple of times, to have a routine. Usually for bedtime, I'm pretty good for that. Where, I shut down everything off. I got fun socials to look at just to turn off the mind and whatever, because you have to at some point. But no, in the morning, really, I pour myself some coffee and just go ham right in it. It's a worldwide thing where, it's so hard to just turn the switch to off. But I think I got a great balance in a way that I sleep well. So my rest is pretty good. I run, I do breath work, I fast often. So far the body is doing great in my opinion, even though, we're all aging, right?
Yeah.
But yeah, no, usually I go in the morning and I go ham because I'm hyped for it, right? And I want to know.
Yeah.
Aside from price actions, aside from charts, I still look at them, right? But news or, hopping on to the show with you, or, having DMs, or, this new thing. Oh, there's a mint coming, I didn't know. Or a new JPEG's been posted, or look, Siwa has been sold at 3K bars. Wow. Stuff. It's enticing. It's really thrilling, absolutely addicting. And yeah, I go straight at it in the morning with a coffee. Yeah.
I love it. Actually ties into another question that I have, which is, because I say this to you a lot, right? I feel your energy. The energy that you bring to this space is a lot, in a positive way, right? So my question is, how do you generate that energy? Where does it come from? How do you maintain it? I mean, I think you kind of answered a little bit in the last part. It feels like you sustain it somehow, right? Over time. What's the magic? What's the secret sauce?
I was and am the same when I was cooking. Same thing. You taste a meal, a great sauce, you just made something. It gets you hyped because it's linked to the feels and whatever. This was playing on words, but at the same time, it's what I feel genuinely, and I've managed to translate what I was doing in the kitchen. You taste an amazing meal, that bite, when you have that bite, what's your favorite meal that you ate? Oh yeah, you posted something yesterday. Was it about food? Can't remember. What's the favorite meal? Yeah, favorite meal that you ate.
I love a curry. A Thai curry. Yeah, Thai curry.
So you eat it and you instantly it's complete. Everything lights up. 5-6 senses, whatever, lights up, even ears, whatever. And I managed to translate that into this Web3 angle where, genuinely, it's fun just when you see people succeed, not only minting out, but having success, KPIs that you wanted to hit because, you managed to have an amazing launch pad, or I don't know, numbers of views over a post that you wanted to hit. And truly 99% of my friends right now, like you, are out here so I connect with people. I really translated everything that I had, this energy, I guess, that I have, but it's fun to me. It's really, it's yeah. A part of it is like inexplicable, but at the same time, it's just like, it's a straight line for me. Like I just get hyped, and I want to share it too. So for better or worse, it's going to be annoying for many. I don't mind, but for those who, I can really like, not influence, but give a touch to, like a high five. Good riddance. I'm here for it, and it's a great spot to be in. Yeah.
I love it. I can feel it. It's not just words, right? When you talk about it, I can feel it. I even get little tingles on the back of my neck as I listen to you talk. Because it's that
Appreciate it.
feeling, right? When you're cooking,
Yeah.
when you're tasting that food, when you're
Yes.
connecting with these people, it gives you the feels, and we'll get into that
Yes.
later.
Yes.
But yeah, love it.
I appreciate you saying that. Thank you.
When it comes to challenges, what's been your biggest challenge so far in Web3?
Yeah, for sure having a set of skills that will translate directly into something that's tangible in terms of success out here in Web3. Because right now, the same thing probably for you, and we can talk about it or not later on, is, all this core package that we had, back in food and beverage and back here, there's a ton of skills, that can relate to. Of course, like managing like people's stress management. I think we definitely have an edge on that, where, for sure you've experienced that when you have a video to pull out or anything that you have to do and you're back against a wall and you're like, okay, and you feel that pressure. It's the same thing when you have to pull up a plate and 3 plates and 17 plates of the same, inside 1 hour, and you have to make it to perfection with taste-wise, presentation, and whatever. It's the same stress that you're experimenting when you have a deadline. So that set of tools that we had before, and bring it forth into Web3, something that's tangible and something that can be monetized for sure for you to live your life. For sure, that's my biggest challenge. I'm still figuring it out. I had a UX class early on this year with Google Coursera. That was amazing. So officially, I'm a UX designer. Definitely not there. I'm still absolutely junior, but that at least gives me something to hold on to say, hey, I can have a foot in the door to start building my craft, like portfolio and something else, and then content creation and anything else that's, KOL, like key opinion leader, and, being in this process of transitioning to have something that's tangible, to really be like able to track success in Web3.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I get that.
Yes.
And what do you have days off? Like, what does a day off look like for you? How do you disconnect and recharge?
We spoke about this in DMs. Mostly Sundays I try to, but if I have like an offering for like space, I'm never going to say no. Usually it's slower on Sundays, like naturally. I don't usually. So no, I don't. Again, this thing is worldwide, so I try, for family times and whatever. I try to go slower, like on weekends. But again, if there's something like right now or tomorrow, like Sunday, or whatever, there's a space is coming up or anything, if I have a show opportunity or whatever, I'm going to take it. Yes.
All right. And where would you like to see yourself in 5 years when it comes to Web3?
Huge. That's huge.
Let's dream for a minute.
That's huge. Hedera for me is my home. Will always be. I love to go outside of it and coming back and knowing that, I have a solid ground to play with friends, with a network, with a base, like, because that's my base. That's my base home. When you grow past that and you understand that ecosystems have the very same challenges, no matter the chain or not chain, I think that becomes really interesting in terms of tackling issues, problem solving, anything, in terms of problem statement. You all have the very same MO and 9 to 5 as to what do you want to give the users with ease of use, simplicity, security, and whatever. So in 5 years, that's huge, but damn, I cannot pinpoint what I want to do, but what I want to feel is the very same way as right now. So no matter where I'm at, am I a UX designer Am I doing coding? Am I doing content creation? Am I, for whatever I'm going to be doing in 5 years? That's huge, 5 years. I want to be able to feel the same way and be not necessarily hyped, but in a good spot, like mentally, like I am right now, while doing, how many hours are we doing per week out here? Maybe for sure it's 60 hours, and still tackling and discovering new people and ways to connect, ways to network, of course. Yes. And being, of course, entirely in Web3. So no matter what shape it takes, I know it's up. You know, when you put yourself up, you know, those, sometimes you have tasks or, you know, objectives that you set yourself up. I don't know how I'm going to get there, but that's something that I really want to drive through. Absolutely. Yes.
Nice. Yeah, I get you. I can relate. And so let's talk about feels, because this is a word that's come up for the last 25 minutes. The word feel has been mentioned a lot, and I love that because I feel it. let's talk about
Yeah.
let's talk about the feels collection, right? It launched last week.
Yeah.
Would you say it's attached to a personal brand? Like, it feels quite personal to me. Can you
Yeah, for
delve
sure.
into a little bit the reasoning or the why or the how of this feels collection, what it
Yeah,
means
for
to you?
sure. For sure. I faded it for so long. I was approached maybe like 6 times to drop a collection on me, on my face, or whatever. I always said no because I wasn't ready. I wasn't ready in terms of what's the brand, what's the outtake, what's the why, especially. That's so important, you know, because you take people's bars, you know, and that's so important. So after that, you got to be accountable and responsible. So of course, it's really, really personal because it was actually Wes from Cyber Negative Hearts. ID came to me, he threw at me a couple images. I was like, wow. You know, I felt it. The same thing as when tasting an amazing meal, bite or whatever. You know, I felt it. I was like, wow, this is powerful. Hazmat Art also came in and said, yo, we got to do something. So it became this joint thing of me not really wanting to do it, but this brought me in because I was ready for sure. And at the same time, because it made me feel something. So it started up this way. And then we built it all around. And of course, we launched over Dragon Labs. Shout out to Justin, who helped me on the way, because, man, he's coding and whatever. He has a script for everything. That guy is a goat. And yeah, so around this entire collection, you know, we designed perks and traits and whatever. AI traits, who was apparently to Wes's saying, I'm not the one saying it, but it's probably true. It's HBAR NFT's first AI traits. And I mean, it was really striking to see, your face JPEG. So I really was blown away by the support. I didn't expect to sell out that fast. I was expecting maybe 2 days. I was putting no really intentions on how to or timelines or whatever. But yeah, I mean, it was really something, and that gave me means to do something else after. What it is, I don't know, say gated content creation, you know, that you can only access if you have FEELZ down the road. So anything, you know, that's going to further the brand, yeah, it's going to be there and accessible, because now, you know, there's NFTs on there. So yeah, to me, it's really another means just to connect with people and feels some more.
So is the feels collection the key to that fill in 5 years?
Yeah, that's a great question. Could 1,000% be? Who knows? Yeah, it could be, man. Because yeah, for sure. I connect with every single pieces. Every single pieces also have a unique name. There's a couple hidden stuff on there that we're going to reveal later on. And again, you know, we got time, because this is not about flips or whatever. It's just about, you know, saying down the road this can happen, and now we got more levers just to go on it and make things happen. So yeah, it's really personal for sure. Yeah.
Nice. And outside of Web3, what's something that you love outside of Web3?
Mm-hmm.
What is it?
Something that I love that I don't have anymore is gaming, like we were saying earlier on. This was a sacrifice. Like, I loved it, and like I could play like 14 hours a day, you know, like, you know, there's no there's no half measures for chefs, right? And I could go for like a long while, and I sacrificed this just to pass more time out here. So of course, for sure, I love gaming, because it's, you can turn your brain to off or on and you can do something, it just makes you feel right, and you can share it. There's rarely something that brings me more joy than to go at, I don't know, I was playing Destiny 2 and, you do raids and you do activities and whatever, and just share with 5 other, friends. Wow. Emotions, straight up, you have a boss battle and yeah, it's timing, it's communication, because it's just the whole entire thing. It's just amazing. So, other than that, for sure, I love running. Yeah, I hate it, but I love it for my health. I hate it, but the benefits it brings me is absolutely really great. So yeah, it's really fun. Yes.
So no more gaming for Phil, or do you have a little allocation of time per week?
Yeah. Well, right now with Dragon Labs, because we launched yesterday, Rocket Team Racing game. I'm back at it a little bit, just for the sake of it. And the game is actually really, really effing fun. But that's my only gaming time that I'm allowing myself. Yes.
All right. I'm gonna put you on the spot a little bit with the next question.
Yes.
Which other project or founder do you secretly admire?
I secretly admire no one. I admire them straight off. Man, there's so many. Your team, Kabila. Your team. This is no secret. Manu and Adrian, absolutely beast. I've said it. They came on the show. Was it last year?
Yeah.
Founders that are really, doing the job. There's so many, man. Now, of course, I got to preach my own teams. Centex also. Shout out to Sam. Shout out to Pat. Builders. Guys and girls and people who just go at it. My teams, of course, I got to say it again: Dragma Labs, Punks, Patches, Renly, Cantor. Guys who don't stop. Like you're relentless, like turning this fire inside into actual like successes. I got respect for that, and especially when it comes to coding and UX building websites and with launch pads that's efficient, fast, ease of use, that's secure. I got respect for that, because that's it still feels like magic to me. And other than that, every single inside the EdgeBar ecosystem, you mean?
Yeah, or beyond. Could be beyond as well.
Like the entire Angry Barboons, fam, Dead Pixels, also for branding. It's strong. That's another magical part. You can teach it, but you can really infuse it. It needs to be created, and that's a gift. That's a gift. It's like music. You really have it, or you don't. You just have it. Yeah.
Nice. And you as an OG, right? You were here before the bear started. So my question is, during this bear, like running mint and drops, but also just being a part of the wider community, what's been your biggest lesson during this bear market?
Staying humble, and while always remaining the student in this, because since we do not know the outcome, like in 2 years, probably the outcome is in 2 years, like say mass adoption, whatever. We don't know the outcome. What's going to happen? Who's going to be there? Might as well just enjoy the journey. Just might as well just go, and because we don't know. There's part of us that know, that makes sense. That's tangible. That's like a table, a wall, or whatever. That makes sense. Those are the basics. But past that, how we get there, this is an entirely different situation. We've seen the news in the last 2 weeks. We don't know. So with that being said, it's like, that's my biggest lesson in terms of taking L's and taking W's. It's staying humble in the process and being, in French, it's being perméable. So permeable, is that a word in English? Anyways, receiving while digesting and putting out in a humble fashion. So even if you use huge W's or big L's or whatever, but when you have huge W's that you make it, just carry on, keep on, just keep. Yeah, that's a W. Okay, cool. So staying humble in this entire process, and especially in losses. In losses, I mean like in defeats or whatever, just keeping up and tackling it and having the same thought process of doing it with people that are around you. Yeah.
Have a fun one for you. If you could have any one superpower what would it be?
Superpower. That's cool. Oh, so dude, I don't know, bro. Wow. I discovered Omni Man not so long ago. He's like, do you know him?
Yeah.
Wow, he's
Legend.
badass, man. I mean, wow. I mean, he's powerful. Anyways, the anime is really cool. Super violent, but I mean, it gets to me. I would say I always loved Wolverine, like regeneration. That's really cool, and he can live for so long. Yeah, that would be it. Yeah, like you get you get tackled and then you bleed and he instantly heals. That's super cool. Yeah. That would be my thing. He used to be one of my favorite superheroes, even way back before he got popular, like early 2000s. Yeah. So yeah, self regeneration, I guess, would have to be my take.
All right. And what excites you the most about next year, about 2024?
More people coming in. Definitely more people coming in for more hype and especially more use cases. That can be a boring answer, but truly is because more people means more stuff to tackle at the same time, more ideas, more generation. So it's a whole melting pot that's going to grow. And attention to be back in a way that right now it's really fun in the bear because you can find your own candies, if I can say it that way. But at the same time, there's going to be more people, attention back. There's a thrill to it. When we had the infamous wave, in summer 2022 last year, there was this thrill that's really fun. And even liquidity aside, it's fun because you feel like this spark. It's like a fireworks. So for sure, when attention is going to come back, that's going to be special.
The feels are going to go through the roof.
Yes, absolutely. Yes.
And there'll be more people to interview, right? On Mints and Drops. Like there'll be fresh people coming in, new build, like I said, new use cases.
For sure.
Yeah,
for sure. Maybe you'll come on the show, I'm putting you on the spot. Maybe you'll come. So yeah, for sure.
I love that.
Yeah, anytime.
How does it feel? Do you often get interviewed? Because you're normally the interviewer, right? How does it feel to be interviewed?
Sure.
Do you enjoy it? You enjoy it?
It feels right at home. I mean, it's the very same thing. Well, I mean, it's the very same thing because you're answering, but again, you're connecting with someone, and at the same time, since this is going to be posted and shared, you're connecting with many people. They see me or you inside a different angle, so it's like it's really similar. Yeah, but no, it's rare actually that I get interviewed. So I think that's my fifth time, I believe. Yeah, so yeah, it's really special. That's cool.
I saw H Bar Gremlin interview last week
on
your own show.
That was cool. That was really cool. Such a gent, an amazing friend to be doing that. Yeah. That was really fun.
That was great. All right, I always love to finish with asking if what's one question you wish I'd asked you, and how would you have answered it?
Oh wow, that's so cool. That was complete for me.
That's also okay if you feel complete. There doesn't have to be any questions, but if there was one.
Yeah, no, that was complete. That was really complete. Yeah, that was complete. You know why? Because you and I are in the present moment. Like you're not, like, say, you're not on your phone. You're not thinking, or if you are, it doesn't show. You're not thinking about what you're going to eat. 20 minutes, or you're here. So every single question to me came in the flow state of way. So yeah, nothing that was really yeah.
Beautiful. Well, I appreciate it, brother. I appreciate your time. Appreciate you being here for what you do in the space. And I hope the community, I'm sure they will enjoy getting personal with you when this goes out.
I appreciate it, man. That was really cool time. And again, thanks again for the invitation.